Lee Minute-ho and Song Hye Kyo confirmed involved in serious car accident, fans in shock as details emerge. In what has become one of the most heart-stopping stories of the year, beloved Korean stars Lee Minute-ho and Song Hye Kyo have been confirmed to be involved in a terrifying car accident that occurred late last night on the scenic highway connecting Incheon and Seoul. What was meant to be a quiet night out turned into a devastating event that has left fans, friends, and the entertainment industry holding their breath. According to sources close to the couple, the two were returning from a private engagement in the countryside, where they had reportedly spent the weekend away from the spotlight. The couple, who had recently made headlines with their plans to slow down from acting and focus on family, were said to be in high spirits just hours before the crash. No one expected the next update about them would shake the entire nation. Eyewitnesses describe a chaotic scene. A silver luxury SUV, believed to be Lee Minute-ho's personal vehicle, was seen swerving uncontrollably after a loud mechanical sound. The car collided forcefully with the concrete barricade before spinning twice and finally coming to a halt by the roadside. Passers-by rushed to the wreckage, shouting for help as others dialed emergency numbers with trembling fingers. Ambulances arrived within minutes, and paramedics worked swiftly to get both Lee Minute-ho and Song Hye Kyo out of the wreck. Bystanders reported hearing Song Hye Kyo calling out Lee Minute-ho's name repeatedly as emergency responders placed him on a stretcher. Her voice, hoarse and full of panic, echoed across the dark highway, shaking those who stood nearby to their core. Both were immediately rushed to a nearby hospital under tight security. A nurse who happened to be on shift that night later shared anonymously that when the two stars were wheeled in, hospital staff froze in disbelief. Song Hye Kyo's hands were tightly clenched as she refused to let go of Lee Minute-ho's arm until doctors intervened. Despite the pain she must have been in, her only words were, "Please save him first." Inside the hospital, chaos unfolded. Managers, friends, and top-level staff from their agencies arrived within the hour. The entire floor where they were being treated was quickly cleared and guarded. Fans began to gather outside, some on their knees praying, others simply holding photos of the stars close to their hearts. Within minutes, social media exploded with the news. Hashtags like #PrayForMinute-HYO and Save Our Stars began trending worldwide. The most emotional moment came when a security officer stationed near the hospital's private entrance witnessed Song Hye Kyo's parents arriving in tears. They were not just worried about their daughter's condition but also deeply emotional over the state of Lee Minute-ho, who they had come to consider as part of the family. The couple's journey had not been easy, and this accident felt like a cruel twist in a love story that had only just begun to settle into peace. As the night deepened, doctors finally released a statement. Both stars were stable but would require days of observation and recovery. Lee Minute-ho reportedly suffered a shoulder fracture and several deep bruises. Song Hye Kyo had minor injuries and possible internal complications, but nothing that would endanger her life. Still, the road to full recovery would not be quick. What left fans in tears, however, was the touching message Song Hye Kyo reportedly whispered to Lee Minute-ho while he was unconscious. A nurse revealed she had been sitting beside him for hours, holding his hand and repeating the same words, "Wake up, we are not finished yet, you promised me forever." The message spread like wildfire and fans have begun posting the phrase across platforms in solidarity. Celebrities from all over the world began sending their love and support. Park Bo-gum posted a heartfelt message online expressing his grief and prayers for a swift recovery. IU was spotted visiting the hospital late in the evening, visibly emotional and silent, staying only briefly but long enough to hand over a note she had written herself. Kim Soo-hyun released a message asking fans to stay calm and hopeful, saying the couple is strong and will fight through this. Even international stars joined in. Messages poured in from Japanese, Thai, and even Hollywood celebrities who had worked with Lee Minute-ho and Song Hye Kyo or admired their work from afar. The entertainment world united in an outpouring of love and light. Back at the hospital, Song Hye Kyo was reportedly moved to a private room beside Lee Minute-ho. Despite her own injuries, she insisted on being close to him. Sources say she refused to sleep until she saw him open his eyes. Her resilience and love became a beacon of hope for fans everywhere. Even in her weakest state, she remained his strength. By dawn, rumors began circulating about the exact cause of the accident. Some speculated it was due to a brake failure, while others wondered if they had been followed by paparazzi or even targeted. Police have launched a full investigation, and authorities have confirmed that dashcam footage is being reviewed. The vehicle's black box may hold the answers everyone is waiting for. Meanwhile, fans continue to stand vigil outside the hospital, lighting candles, holding vigils, and singing soft melodies from the couple's past drama soundtracks. The mood is heavy but full of hope. Many believe this event, tragic as it may be, will only strengthen the love between Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo. It is not just about two celebrities anymore. For millions, they are a symbol of love, perseverance, and beauty in a chaotic world. Their survival feels personal. Their pain is shared. And their recovery will be watched with bated breath by fans around the globe. As of now, both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo remain under medical supervision. The world waits. And as it waits, it remembers a truth that has never been more evident than now: some love stories are too powerful to be broken, even by fate itself. Stay tuned as we bring more updates from the hospital and hear from their loved ones in the coming hours. For now, let us keep them in our thoughts and send all our strength to the stars who have given us so much light. Lee Min-ho wakes up and whispers Song Hye Kyo's name. Their love story takes a miraculous turn. Just when the world feared the worst, a breathtaking moment inside the quiet walls of the intensive care unit changed everything. Early this morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched the windows of the private hospital in Seoul, a nurse stepped out from the recovery wing with trembling lips and a single sentence that sent the world into a frenzy: "He's awake." He asked for her. Lee Min-ho had opened his eyes. And the first name that left his lips was hers. "Where is Hye Kyo?" he murmured, barely audible, but clear enough to send nurses and doctors into motion. They rushed to call Song Hye Kyo, who was resting in the private room next door. The moment she heard those words, she rose to her feet despite her pain and walked barefoot, refusing help, toward the man she almost lost. What happened next was nothing short of a miracle. As she entered the room, Lee Min-ho's tired eyes found hers. She stood still for a heartbeat, then rushed to his side and gently placed her forehead against his. A tear slipped down her cheek as she whispered, "You came back to me." He gave a weak smile and replied, "I promised I would never leave you." The staff in the room silently stepped back. No one moved. No one dared interrupt the moment that felt more cinematic than any drama the couple had ever starred in. It was raw, real, and unforgettable. Doctors later said it was her voice that might have triggered his consciousness. That her presence had been a healing force. But fans believe something more powerful was at work: the bond between them, unshakable and undeniable. Not long after, their agencies released a joint statement. The statement confirmed that both actors were now stable and would recover fully, though it would take time. But it also confirmed something fans had long suspected. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo are not just a couple. They are engaged. The world gasped. According to the statement, the couple had chosen to keep the engagement private and were planning a quiet ceremony later in the year. They wanted to live simply, far away from flashing cameras and drama headlines. But fate, it seems, had other plans for them. The accident, while tragic, had pushed their love story into the public eye once more, only this time, in its most vulnerable form. Photos taken discreetly outside the hospital today show fans holding up handmade posters that read, "Min-ho forever" and two hearts, one miracle. There were flowers, drawings, and even paper cranes folded by children who had grown up watching their dramas. One little girl, barely 10 years old, told a local reporter, "My mommy says they are like real-life fairy tale people. If they can be okay, then maybe everything can be okay." Inside the hospital, Lee Min-ho has already begun light therapy, and Song Hye Kyo, despite being advised to rest, remains by his side day and night. Nurses say she now reads to him old poetry, romantic lines from their dramas, and even notes from fans that have been pouring in from every corner of the world. The couple has reportedly asked their teams to arrange a video message to fans soon, once Lee Min-ho regains more strength. "We owe them our hearts," Song Hye Kyo was heard saying. "They prayed us back to life." Meanwhile, investigators have uncovered more about the car malfunction. Initial reports suggest a technical fault in the brake system may have been the root cause, but suspicions are rising after traces of tampering were found. A special investigation unit has now been formed to dig deeper. Was this just an accident, or was someone trying to hurt the most beloved couple in Asia? The entertainment world is shaken. The couple's close friends are being questioned. Their staff is under protection. Security at the hospital has been doubled. And fans are more united than ever, calling for justice while demanding answers. Despite it all, the focus remains on the stars who fought their way back to each other. At sunset, Song Hye Kyo shared a handwritten message through her agency. It read, "Thank you for loving us. Thank you for waiting. We are still here because of your prayers. And we still believe in love." Those words traveled far and fast. They became headlines. They became hope. They became a reminder that sometimes, even in the darkest moment, love is the only light that never fades. And somewhere in a quiet hospital room, Lee Minute-ho and Song Hye Kyo now hold hands again, not as actors, not as icons, but as two souls who survived the storm together. Their story is no longer just one of fame or drama. It is now a testament of love's ability to rise, even when everything else falls.